I think there are times in your life where something so significant happens that it truly bisects not only where you are at the time, but who you are as a person. And there are only the times that come before and the times that come after. And I had a really powerful experience like that happen to me only a short time ago. I was working at Gonzaga University at the time, and I had the amazing opportunity to take 13 incredible undergraduate students to Zambezi, Zambia. So we get in the planes from Seattle and we travel all the way over to London, and we hang out in the Heathrow airport, and everybody's on pins and needles ready for this exciting adventure. We travel into Lusaka, Zambia, which is our second to last stop because we are officially going to Zambezi. And this is where we take all of our luggage and we load it onto these little tiny 5-seat Cessnas. So we fly into Zambezi. We get to the place we're staying. I said, you know guys, the sun's gonna get ready to go down in maybe an hour. Let's just hang out, we'll have some conversation, and then we'll all walk down to the river together and we'll watch this amazing sunset that we've heard so much about as it sets right over the banks of the Zambezi. So around the time when the sun was about to set, we all start making our way down towards the river. And there were these small paths, and you had brush on both sides, and there were trees and things like that. Well, the neat part about this path was that everywhere you looked, there were children jumping out of bushes and climbing down trees. And if you had 10 fingers, you had 10 different hands of 10 different children hanging off of each finger. And so it was amazing because they were so excited just to see you. You were new, you were different, you were something that was out of the ordinary there, and they wanted to maximize the opportunity to hang out with you. So I walk down and I got these kids hanging off my hands, and the one kid is holding on with a fierce grip. He will not let go. And so as we get closer and closer to the river, maybe my hands got sweaty, maybe they didn't like my hands anymore, but they started to go in different directions. And so this one little kid, he was my guy. He was holding on for dear life, and wherever I was going, he was going. So we get down to the river, and I kind of find this little rock to sit on, and he sits down next to me. The Zambezi River is this beautiful river with all these beautiful trees, and there's guys paddling across in their dugout canoes, and it's just this incredibly visceral experience that you can't replicate here in the United States. The sun starts to go down, and I mean, it is an awesome sunset. I mean, the colors are so beautiful, and then it hits the horizon. And the horizon just explodes into these pinks and these oranges and all these amazing colors. Now, this little kid that was next to me, he can't speak English, and I can't speak Luvali, which is his language that he speaks in Zambezi. But he's been walking with me, and regardless of my ability to communicate with him effectively, I've been talking with him. I've been sharing all kinds of things that I have no idea if he understands what they are or anything like that. But he's been nodding his head and being a very attentive listener, and he said a couple things in Luvali, which I have no idea what they mean. And so we're sitting there, and I'm still sharing things with him as we watch this tremendous sunset. So as the sun breaks into all those amazing colors and crosses the horizon, I look at him and I say, "Are you kidding me? Look at this stuff. This is just beautiful." And he looks at me, and he pauses. He has these amazingly deep eyes, and he says, "Will you be my friend?" And I pause, and I think about that. And I say to myself, how does this little kid, maybe 3 or 4, who doesn't speak English, in perfect English, ask me this amazingly deep question that makes me think about who I am as a person? And at that moment, everything changed for me. I realized that it's not about the accolades or the awards or the celebrations that were given. It's not about that I had put all those months of service into preparing my students. The only thing that mattered was the relationship that existed between me and him. And in those few quick words, "Will you be my friend?" I realized that that's the most important thing in life. It's something so powerful that it transcends the differences that we had with one another, and it brings us closer together in a meaningful way. At moments in our lives, we have something very simple happen that can have a tremendous impact. And I think that there's nothing more fitting that reminds me of take advantage of every single opportunity in your life and every single chance to communicate with someone in a meaningful way. Don't take those things for granted. Really take advantage of all the opportunities that you have, because you might not have that opportunity again. And if that day when I was walking down the river, if I just would have hung out with the students that I was comfortable with, or maybe I hadn't sat over in an area where it was just me and him, I wouldn't have had as deep and meaningful of an experience, and I would have missed that opportunity. And so it has completely reframed how I engage with people. And I think that's the most important piece of who you are, the relationships that you establish.